Do you ever lie down at night, ready to sleep, and suddenly your legs start feeling like they have a mind of their own? Like there's this overwhelming urge to move them, and no matter what position you try, they just won't settle down? Well, if this sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. Millions of people deal with restless legs, and what most don't realize is that this frustrating condition might actually be your body crying out for one specific mineral. Hi, I'm Letitia, and I'm here from Brazil, which, fun fact, happens to be one of the world's largest magnesium reserves. Here in Brazil, we've been researching magnesium extensively for decades, and I've been personally studying and using magnesium for the past 5 years. It literally changed my life. Now I've been dealing with restless leg syndrome myself, and through my research and personal experience, I discovered something pretty fascinating about the connection between magnesium deficiency and those jumpy legs that keep you up at night. Today, we're going to dive deep into why magnesium deficiency might be the hidden culprit behind your restless legs, how to recognize the signs, and most importantly, what you can do about it. So if you've been struggling with RLS and nothing seems to help, stick around because this might just be the missing piece of your puzzle. First, let's talk about what's actually happening when you experience restless leg syndrome. RLS isn't just about wanting to move your legs. It's a neurological condition where your nerves and muscles become overactive, especially when you're trying to rest. Your nervous system basically goes into overdrive, sending signals that create those uncomfortable sensations and that irresistible urge to move. Now, here's where magnesium comes into the picture. Magnesium is like the body's natural relaxation mineral. It plays a crucial role in nerve and muscle function. Specifically, it helps regulate calcium, which is responsible for muscle contraction. Think of it this way. Calcium tells your muscles to contract, and magnesium tells them to relax. When you don't have enough magnesium, it's like having a gas pedal stuck down with no brake pedal. Without adequate magnesium, your nerves become hyperexcitable, which means they fire off signals way more than they should. This leads to muscle twitches, spasms, and yes, that restless feeling in your legs. It's basically your nervous system being stuck in fight or flight mode when it should be winding down for sleep. But how do you know if magnesium deficiency is actually behind your restless legs? Well, there are several signs to look out for. Beyond the obvious leg restlessness, you might experience muscle cramps, especially at night. You might notice that your sleep quality is poor, even when you do manage to fall asleep. Some people also experience anxiety, irritability, or even headaches, all of which can be connected to magnesium deficiency. Interestingly, certain groups of people are more prone to magnesium deficiency. If you're someone who's under a lot of stress, maybe you're working long hours, dealing with deadlines, or just feeling overwhelmed, your body burns through magnesium much faster. Athletes and people who exercise regularly also tend to lose magnesium through sweat. And women going through menopause often experience decreased magnesium absorption, which can worsen restless leg symptoms along with other menopausal issues. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but how much magnesium do I actually need? The thing is, it's not just about quantity, it's about the type of magnesium and how well your body can actually use it. Different forms of magnesium serve different purposes in your body. For restless legs specifically, magnesium glycinate is often recommended because it's gentle on the stomach and has a calming effect on the nervous system. But here's something I learned through my own journey, and this is where my personal experience really comes in handy. I was taking individual forms of magnesium for different issues, and honestly, it became pretty complicated keeping track of everything. That's when I discovered that there are actually 7 different forms of magnesium, each targeting different systems in your body. I personally use a supplement called Magnesium Breakthrough from Bioptimizers that combines all 7 forms in one formula. For me, this approach makes sense because I want to cover all my bases, not just address the restless legs, but also support my overall health, energy levels, and sleep quality. If you're curious about what I use, I've left the links in the description. There's one for a one-time purchase and another for a subscription option where you get it delivered monthly at a better price. Now, let's get practical. If you suspect magnesium deficiency might be behind your restless legs, there are several approaches you can take. First, you could try increasing magnesium-rich foods in your diet. We're talking about dark, leafy greens, nuts and seeds, fish, and even dark chocolate, which, let's be honest, makes this whole health thing a bit more enjoyable. However, and this is important, Getting enough magnesium from food alone can be challenging, especially if you're dealing with significant deficiency. The soil our food grows in today often has lower magnesium content than it did decades ago, which means even healthy foods might not provide optimal levels. This is where supplementation often becomes necessary. But before you run out and buy just any magnesium supplement, there are a few things to keep in mind. The timing matters. Taking magnesium about 30 minutes to an hour before bed can be particularly helpful for restless legs since it helps promote relaxation. Start with a moderate dose and see how your body responds. Some people notice improvements within a few days, while others might need a few weeks to see significant changes. One thing I want to address is that not all magnesium supplements are created equal. Some forms can cause digestive issues, while others might not be well absorbed by your body. This is another reason why I personally prefer the comprehensive approach with all 7 forms. It takes the guesswork out of which type might work best for you. Also, if you're dealing with restless legs, you might want to consider other lifestyle factors that can help. Reducing caffeine, especially in the afternoon and evening, can make a significant difference. Regular, gentle exercise can also help, but avoid intense workouts close to bedtime as they might actually worsen symptoms. Creating a relaxing bedtime routine is crucial too. This might include gentle stretching, a warm bath, or even some light leg massage. These activities, combined with adequate magnesium, can significantly improve your restless leg symptoms. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, what if magnesium doesn't work for me? And that's a valid concern. While magnesium deficiency is a common underlying factor in restless legs, it's not the only one. Iron deficiency, certain medications, and other health conditions can also contribute to RLS. This is why it's always a good idea to work with a healthcare provider, especially if your symptoms are severe or don't improve with lifestyle changes. Before we wrap up, I want to share something that really opened my eyes about magnesium. Most people think of it as just another supplement, but magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body. It affects everything from energy production to mood regulation to muscle function. So when you address magnesium deficiency for your restless legs, you're likely going to notice improvements in other areas too. Better sleep quality, more stable energy levels, less stress and anxiety. That's exactly what happened to me. I started focusing on magnesium for sleep issues, but ended up seeing improvements in my energy levels, my stress management, and yes, those annoying restless legs that used to keep me up at night. So here's what I want you to take away from this. If you're dealing with restless legs, especially if you're also experiencing muscle cramps, poor sleep, or high stress levels, there's a good chance magnesium deficiency could be playing a role. It's worth exploring, and the good news is that addressing magnesium deficiency is relatively simple and safe for most people. Remember, you have options. You can start by incorporating more magnesium-rich foods into your diet and see if that helps. If you want to try supplementation, you could look for a single form like magnesium glycinate specifically for the restless legs. Or if you're like me and want to cover all your bases, you might consider a comprehensive formula that includes all 7 forms of magnesium. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more health content. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you noticed a connection between your magnesium intake and your restless leg symptoms? Or do you have questions about which type of magnesium might be best for your specific situation? Let me know, and I'll do my best to help you out. Thanks for watching, and here's to getting those restless legs under control so you can finally get the peaceful sleep you deserve.